name is Victor Tubotamuno. I'm the CEO of Spobody. Spobody is a product design company. So we are a startup studio, right? Basically, at the top of the funnel, what we do is venture building. We come up with innovative ideas and currently in the society, and we build those ideas into products. They go through the whole minimum viable product stage, and we take these products to the market for users. So in a nutshell, Spobody is that company that builds companies, right? But outside venture building, we do other things, right? So we run an accelerator program called the Builders Foundry, where a 3-week accelerator program for entrepreneurs who are actually looking to scale their business to the next level, and we merge them with funding, more like a demo day where they get to pitch to investors. Okay, my background, so I'm from River State, born and brought up in River State, Port Harcourt to be precise. And funny enough, I didn't even have any technology or science background. I went to Uniport, graduated as a theater artist. A lot of persons will question why you're not in the movie and why are you doing technology. But I first of all came in contact with tech in 2016, where I attended an event in the South, and we had this whole wide conversation about how technology is the whole future, the driving force, how it's going to engineer a whole lot of sectors, right? So I picked interest in this. In that event, that's where I met my co-founder for my very first tech product called Workaholic, right? So then we built Workaholic later on. Workaholic was an online marketplace for skill-based services. So basically at Workaholic, what we do is you could come online to look for a graphic designer, a digital marketer, name all the digital services, you could find them. After 2 years of running that company, we shut it down. I think that was my first tech experience. It has been me building products, venturing into 1-2 tech products and the rest, and finally we're here at Spobody because we understood the need for a whole lot of products to be in the market that are actually solving problems. For us, we foresaw all this and we decided to host an hackathon in June. We didn't know that this would spread this much. We anticipated, right? But we didn't know it would spread this much. So what we did was cancel the event in June, bring it a little bit forward, and organize an online ideation program whereby people could come up with ideas and we get to see how we co-create the ideas and deploy these ideas into the market so they could actually solve real-time problems. Because we understand that one of the main killers of this whole pandemic thing is misinformation and disinformation. So we're looking for solutions in those sectors that could actually fight that. Then we're also looking for solutions that could guide people on tracking cases with the virus. So we're looking at how we could use big data analytics and AI to solve the issue of tracking. So if we could come up with solutions like interactive heat mapping, whereby we could see solutions on a dashboard that clearly states where a particular sector of the virus is being spread across, so people could actually stay off that same zone, or a one-on-one direction that tells you, okay, Mr. A contacted this virus, he lives somewhere around this place. For the past 2 weeks, he has been to this place, this place, this place, right? So people are careful how they move. That's why the whole stay-at-home thing, some persons still come outside. So a lot of the solutions we're looking out for. Yes, our VC is ready to put in their cash, yes, because I think there's a program right now currently run by Ventures Platform, one of our indigenous angel investors, or venture capitalists rather, and they're asking for people with solutions on fighting or tackling the pandemic, coronavirus, Covid-19, and they are ready to put in money, right? So I think a whole lot of funding, locally or internationally, are a little bit focused towards companies in biotech who are in one way or the other seeing how they can tackle this virus. So we're looking at companies that might be running genome sequencing, right? We're looking at companies that will be focused more on human interactive. Any solution right now, because people are more concerned about how it plays out. See, if your solution is not tackling the virus, then your solution should be an enabler to people who are currently affected by the virus. So what that means is you are a founder and you're building a solution. Let's say you build a solution like Slack that allows people to work from home. A VC could actually fund that at this point in time, right? So you say you have a video conferencing app like Zoom, and that allows people to discuss, hold virtual meetings. So these are the kind of things VCs would actually fund right now. Things that are around this case, either tackling the cases directly or solutions that are helping people survive the whole business issue. I think we're ready. There are a whole lot of things happening in the space. I could say some of the edtech startups are doing their bit at this point to see how they digitalize education more. Because with the whole government order, sit at home, close the schools, so many schools are on shutdown, right? So some of these edtech startups are working with the schools right now to make sure e-learning platforms are actually built, e-learning solutions are built to enable students still learn from home and still carry out their normal activities they would have done in school. So solutions are built currently in the country, and I think a whole lot of them are tapping into it at this point. From the tech ecosystem, because if you say how equipped we are in Nigeria, we'll be asking ourselves how the government also are equipped, right? So I cannot say much about the government because we saw how this whole thing emanated from Wuhan. The government were sitting, they were shouting since close the border, detect things that are coming into this country. Nobody acted upon till this point where we were in this crisis. But from the tech ecosystem, solutions are being built for the future. Trust me, there are a whole lot of disruptive ideas currently in place, innovative ideas that are in place to tackle future crises. There is a company currently building an AI algorithm that can detect viruses, right? Don't forget that while the virus was first detected in China, the United States Center for Disease Control also announced that a virus is in China, right? But before that, a Canadian AI company detected that ahead of any other person and predicted the spread of that virus. That's what AI can do, right? So we have companies currently working on Nigeria, even at Sport Body. We were working on a technology for biotech, genome sequencing. We're currently working on that. We're also working on a technology for heat mapping. So many persons are doing several things to see how we could prepare for this. At least this is an eye-opener for us. If for nothing, if not just about solutions on tackling the virus, what about solutions helping businesses who are crumbled at this point in time stay afloat? For everything that happens, there's this positive and negative part of it, right? Don't forget that it is in this same whole coronavirus issue period, somebody added $2 billion to his net worth, and that's the CEO of Zoom, Zoom, the video conferencing app, Yuan Yang, right? Because at this point in time, Zoom's prices were high, the stock prices were high, people are more using this, right? Amazon is trying to see how they employ over 100,000 staff for their logistics and everything, right? When it happens, there are companies that would actually benefit from this and companies that would suffer from this. In a vast world, it would affect businesses in general. But don't forget that this is the time where e-commerce sales would increase. This is the time where logistics companies would actually increase on their demands. This is the time where educational platforms online would actually have more sales. Even video on demand platforms like Netflix, Iroko, all this is the time where they have more higher numbers, right, in terms of users. But in general, it has affected us badly for me as a business. So imagine where we canceled our event. Imagine how many other events were also canceled, tech events, right? 1. 2, it has made startups incur more costs in terms of running the business. So now with the whole stay-at-home order, a lot of companies are trying to flatten the curve, abiding by government policy to say, okay, you know what, you guys could start working remotely. We're not yet ripe for that remote culture. It's still kind of new for us, for people to strive in the gig economy. So if you're asking people to say work from home, are there digital infrastructure set in place for effective productivity? First, I would advise the government or collaboration with the tech ecosystem at this point. When this whole pandemic thing got into the US, what President Trump did was he called for an innovative gathering, right, with tech leaders in the ecosystem to see how they can come up with solutions. Can we start seeing those things in Nigeria right now? There are a whole lot of ideas currently lying untapped. There are a whole lot of ideas in incubation, a whole lot of ideas that are not yet implemented. Some are not implemented possibly based on government policies. Some are not implemented based on infrastructure. Can we start seeing collaboration at this point in time between the government and the ecosystem, whereby there will be a synergy in terms of productivity or innovation in all this we're talking about right now? If we could have that, fine. Then secondly, to tackle this, I've always been an advocate of curbing disinformation, not the virus. So let's have a decentralized information system by the government. If it is via USSD code, if it is via mobile app, where people go into this platform to report their cases or how they feel daily, it could really, really help lives. You put out information from the federal point, it could disseminate to the bottom of the pyramid, to even those in the rural areas. We know it is one credible source, it is all going through. Then we understand that people can report their own cases of how they feel in any way they can, without feeling traumatized or stigmatized in any way, right? Yeah, so they can. I would say just tackle those one first, then collaborate with the ecosystem for ideas. So I see a whole lot of persons closing shop saying, oh, we are waiting till after this whole pandemic thing. No, this is not the time. If for no reason you don't even have a plan, at Spotbody, what we basically do right now is to see how we work with entrepreneurs, advise them on digital strategy to go about their business. This is the time to innovate in your business. This is the time to digitize your business. So this is the time where you connect more with your customers, because see, this is the best time to even have customers. People are seated at home, which means we have more people with their mobile phones at this point in time. It means you could start doing targeted markets to your target audience at this point in time. So why not just carry out all these measures and make sure your business strives? It still boils down to the same issue I've raised. The government is not in charge of information at this point in time. They are not. They really need to take responsibility of disseminating information. Apply technology to it. Apply innovation to it. It's not just tweeting through the National Center for Disease Control on Twitter and saying, oh, we have 20 cases, we have 30 cases. Our grandmothers are not on Twitter. How would they know all these things, right? There are a whole lot of persons who don't have access to. Some persons are just new in this whole digital space. So seeing a mobile app that say, oh, this, if you ask yourself, what does the app do? The app basically does few things I've mentioned. One, report cases on daily, tell you current cases happening around you. That's one. Two, the app does heat mapping. Tells you that, okay, this is the environment, this is where a particular case occurred, and this is the spread, this is where it's tilting to. That is innovation from fraudulent people. That's the kind of solution I want the government to have at this point in time. A go-to point whereby we announce that this is the app you download at this point in time. Don't download any other app. People don't have access to these information. That's why you see, just like somebody who's drowning in the ocean, anything you hold your hands to, even if it's a snake, you just want to survive, right? So that's what people are passing through right now. So I just advise the government first to come up with those solutions. Then people should look out for credible information. Trust your news source at this point. Hi everyone, my name is Tubotamuno Victor. I'm the CEO of Sport Body. My advice at this point for SMEs is stay safe. Make sure you tilt your business towards happenings around COVID-19 and the whole pandemic. See how your business can be a solution to what is currently happening right now. And always tune into Rave TV to have the latest information about the pandemic. Thank you.